9:36 a.m. as we continue with the broadcast this morning. Now, this I find very, very interesting because South Africa, at one point in time, we were self-sufficient in more ways than one. We had a skilled base. We had a highly skilled base in this country to tackle almost anything, every major project in this country. Whether we talked about electricity generation, we speak about Cecil, we speak about coal from fuel, we look at the infrastructure, and this was South Africa. South Africa had a and a respected skills base right across the entire world. The question is, where did we go wrong? And this is the reason why I'm raising this question. Is we've now learned about Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan asking trade union solidarity to provide a list of people with the necessary technical skills to help the government address the skills crisis at ESCOM. And we know this has been a major issue. We've seen so many power outages as a result of maintenance, lack of maintenance, planned maintenance, unplanned maintenance. And this tells us that we've got a serious problem as far as skills is concerned. Joining us this morning to discuss this matter, CEO at OUTA, Wayne Duvenage. Wayne, good morning to you and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Nice to be with you.
It's wonderful being with you. And look, this has come as no surprise that Pravin Gordhan has made this call, but it is clear that one of the biggest crises that we've seen in ESCOM is as a result of the wrong people in the jobs, a lack of skills, and a lot of this could have been avoided had we had the right people. And like I mentioned right at the outset, South Africa had a very, very highly and a respected skills base in more ways than one.
Yeah, absolutely. And this problem is not just confined to Eskom. It is confined to, it is applied in municipalities around the country where skills have been lost. And so, we understand the need for transformation. We understand the needs for skills sharing and transfer as we bring previously disadvantaged communities into the workspace, into the skills base that is required. But what happened, I think, in many instances is that it happened far too quickly, and government and SOEs and municipalities moved people that had the necessary skills, that had a lot of the institutional knowledge in these organizations over many years, moved them out as quickly as they could to replace them. And then we understand also this cadre deployment issue has exacerbated this problem. And we find that so many very important skills, especially in Eskom, the engineering skills and the expertise around managing power stations, took the opportunities to leave with the offers of early retirement or retrenchment packages. And I think that has now come home to roost and has come home to haunt government and municipalities in many SOEs and many departments throughout the country.
Yes, Wayne, we knew that was going to happen. In fact, that you speak about, it's come to haunt the government, and it was inevitable. At some point in time, something would have give, and now that we see that we are close to a point of breakdown, we find now Pravin Gordhan, asking solidarity, to provide them with a list of people with a skills base as well. This is a desperate move from what I read in the situation, Wayne.
Yes, it is, but it's one needs to commend the minister for doing so. Sometimes you got to put your pride in your pocket and you got to ask for help. And that's what's happening now. And Solidarity has reached out, from what we can see, to the minister in the past and said, look, we've got a lot of our members, our ex-members who are in retirement or not necessarily wanted to be in that position, who would love to come back to work and assist. So it's good to see the minister reaching out to Solidarity to say, okay, let us have a list, those top 100 people that you have with the skills that we require, so that we can get them back into the fold at Eskom to fix the problems that we have. So it's good that that's happening. But I think we need to take that same example into every town, where every municipal manager should be asking for the retired engineers to come back and help fix the waterworks, the wastewater treatment plants that have blocked up and stopped working. Sewage is running down the streets. Street lights aren't being repaired. All of those skills need to be brought back. There are retired accountants and lawyers that live in every town, literally, that have a value to offer. So this idea, this notion of what the minister is doing should be taken widespread.
Well, certainly. And also, I think, you mentioned accountants and lawyers, but at this point in time, when one looks at the situation that these municipalities find themselves in, and also the state owned enterprises, a lot of it has got to do with engineering skills and technical skills. And,
Yes.
there was a time where South Africa, again, I want to reinforce this point. South Africa being highly respected is because we
Yeah.
developed these technical skills, and one didn't need to be a university graduate or an engineer. We're just talking of artisans. We're talking of people, that performed manual tasks in factories, in building, whether it was train wheels or whatever they did at the
Yeah.
end of the day. But we were highly respected because we had the facilities, we had the trade schools, we had the training, we had all of that. And that is the reason why South Africa had built an infrastructure that we did until we got to a point, like you mentioned, where basically everything fell apart.
Yeah, absolutely. We were highly regarded. In fact, Eskom was regarded as one of the top institutions from electricity generation and distribution in the world, and its skills and expertise. Without a doubt, the same applies to doctors, where we've lost so much of that skill in the country. So it really goes across the board, from teaching and healthcare to electricity generation. You're quite right. The respect of what we've had is now, dissipated, and we have a broken system. We have broken systems as a result of this lack of expertise, and so much of it, sadly, has emigrated, has gone. But I do know, and we see it all the time. We engage with expat groups that South Africans overseas are not always happy there. They want to come back. And if we put this call out as a nation, as we start rebuilding our nation going forward and putting in the change that has to happen, if government would just participate and do so meaningfully, we could bring back a lot of those skills if those people were offered the jobs here and the ability to have the security of tenure and being employed in this country. But sadly, government has to get its mind around the fact that we are one nation, we're a rainbow nation, we need to work together. And this excluding certain sectors of society because they just don't want them in their workplace is not doing us any favors as a country.
Well, it certainly hasn't done us any favors. And, we're talking about technical, but also let's not forget agriculture as well, which is the lifeblood of the economy in terms of ensuring food security, because that is a skill that we've lost a lot as well in the agricultural sector. And, one can just look examples. Look at Zabadila, for instance, just the orange plantations of Zabadila alone. And that will, that gives us an indication. So in more ways than one, but just looking at a union like Solidarity now, how should they be responding to Pravin Gordhan and this request?
Well, I think they are going to be assisting and reaching out to their members who have the skills, who have the time to participate in this program that Pravin and the Eskom management are trying to introduce, which is bring back as much skilled labor as we can to fix Eskom, because that's what it needs. So let's see how quickly that happens, and let's hope it does provide the necessary skills and the work comes to fruition.
Exactly, and I think that is of priority, Wayne, because cut out all the red tape, cut out all the nonsense, and
Mhm.
make sure that you get the job done. And I think for me that is extremely important.
Yeah, this is time to put aside all the differences and all the issues that we've tried to implement from a transformation point of view, where it's gone wrong. And we know that so often we see the whole triple BEE process is also flawed. Very few people are being upskilled. And only a handful of people get rich through these programs for fronting. We really need to review how we engage and bring the skills and enable entrepreneurship to develop, and make sure that this broad-based Black economic empowerment process takes place meaningfully and effectively. I think the way we've gone about it has been a bit haphazard and dangerous, and has not led to what we ultimately wanted when it comes to transformation. So let's hope this happens now, and we can fix Eskom quickly as a result, and other institutions that need help.
Well, Wayne, thank you very much as always for taking time out, talking to us. All the best to you, sir.
Pleasure. Thank you. Bye.
Wayne Duvenage, the CEO at OUTA, joining us this morning. And with that, we're going to go for another break. We come back, we'll be joined by Dr. Vusi Sibanda.